All right, hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to go over all the services that your car will need at 100,000 kilometers. All right, so we're going to start with number one. It's in no particular order. So number one here, so coolant flush and plus water pump. So at 100K, it's a good idea to do your coolant flush just to have fresh new coolant inside your cooling system. But at the same time, the water pump might be due anyway, so the gasket on the pump as well as the water pump itself. So it's always a good time at 100K to do it, just to avoid, we want to change it preventively, so just to avoid any problems in the future. If it starts leaking or it fails, it won't leave you stranded. So usually we recommend customers at where I worked at, so at 100K, we'll do them a water pump replacement with a coolant flush, and that's going to be taken care of as when it comes to their cooling system. All right, number two is going to be spark plugs. So 100K as well. It's a good time to replace spark plugs. Some shops will recommend plugs and coils. Yeah, so some shops will recommend plugs and coils, like I said before, just to avoid any future problems down the line that could leave you stranded. So any misfire that could leave you stranded, and it's gonna avoid any to bringing it at a garage for a technician to chase that misfire. So it's gonna avoid some labor as well. So if you replace these preventively, then you'll avoid all that. So, and then misfires also damage the catalytic converter as well. So we're trying to avoid that by replacing these preventively. So 100K is going to be a good cutoff point for replacing plugs and coils. So either double platinum or iridium, and that's probably going to last even more than 100K for these, the replacement ones. So it's a good time to do that. And then if you have turbo cars, turbo should be replaced a bit sooner at 50K or latest 100K, because they are under higher amount of pressure. So it's a good idea to replace those plugs. They take a bigger beating than non-turbo cars. All right, next up we have timing belts. So same thing, 100K for timing belts. Nowadays, modern cars are moving towards timing chains more and more because they last longer for sure. But if you are equipped with timing belts, so it's a good time to do that. So belt with either pulley as well as what's it called? Tensioner pulley as well. So most of the time, the timing belt will be done with the water pump. Usually the kit comes with the whole thing, so timing belt with a water pump depending on your car, and it's a good time to do both of them at 100K if you haven't done the water pump already. So that's going to be preventive maintenance as well, because it's probably going to be the worst part if you leave this one unattended. A broken timing belt will cause engine damage if you have interference engine. So that's what we're trying to avoid, engine damage. So this job is probably going to run you around $1,000 plus, just depending on the car make and model. But it's usually a 6-hour plus job to do a timing belt and a water pump if needed, because the shop is also going to need timing tools specific for your engine to lock the camshafts as well as the crankshaft to line up your brand new timing belt. Cars are moving towards, like I said before, towards timing chains, which require less maintenance. Some timing chains could last up to 150,000 kilometers or even 200,000. I've seen some Toyotas at even 250,000 kilometers with the original chain, and it causes no problem at all. But it's something to keep in mind that it's still a preventive maintenance component that should be replaced, because the worst part is going to be these chains don't break usually. They'll have they'll stretch, and then they'll set timing codes. And then, like I said before, you're gonna have to go to a shop, and then if you have replaced this preventively, then you're gonna avoid, you know, technician looking at it and then chasing a timing code with, and then you're gonna have to pay for all that labor. And then eventually a stretch timing chain will require a brand new timing chain with guides and tensioners and all that. So timing chain a replacement is a bit more labor intensive, just because it requires a resealing of the timing cover. Especially if you have a V6, it's going to be a lot more time consuming. So it's probably going to be around $1,500 to $2,000 for parts and labor if you're doing a timing chain replacement. So you're probably going to do valve covers as well. There's just more components involved in it, lots of other gaskets and so on. There's lots of cleaning to do, and then lots of silicone gaskets to be added compared to a simple timing belt. Timing belts are usually a lot easier to do. And if you do end up having to do a timing belt on these German cars, then that's going to cost you way more, for sure over $2,000. Just because how they're made. I know Audi, their timing belt setup, their timing chain setups are set up at the rear of the engine. So for these, you're gonna have to drop the engine most of the time, and then, you know, this is easily a $2,000-3,000 job for timing chains on a German car. So be careful of that, especially when buying a German car, a used German car on the used car market. Make sure that the seller has done the timing chain. Most of the time they don't, so it's gonna fall on you if these chains start to stretch or start to make noise on cold start and so on. All right, and lastly, the last service is going to be a transmission flush at 100K. It's a bit steep. You know, a lot of transmission shops will recommend 30K to 40K kilometers to keep your transmission running smoothly. And yeah, so 100K, most people will do that with plus the filter. That's what we recommended at the dealer that I worked at, just to have their transmission shifting correctly, and just to protect the internals on the inside, so the clutches won't you know, get burnt out and so on. And that's going to restore the the smoothness of your shifts on your car. All right, and yeah, so there's going to be other ones if you actually own a truck. So at 100K, you could do a diff service, so diff fluid replacement if you have a truck, as well as the transfer case. That's a good time to do that at 100K as well. So at our shop, we used to we didn't work on trucks that much, but when we did, we would always recommend a diff fluid change with a transfer case change as well, and that should keep the car going a long time. Even if you're not gonna keep the car forever, even if you're gonna sell it, you want at least the next owner to have, you know, a well-maintained car. There's lots of, you know, there's this idea that, you know, I'm not gonna maintain my car just because I'm not even gonna keep it that long. So, you know, I'm just gonna neglect the maintenance on it, and then it falls into the next owner to have you know, a car that's that the maintenance has been you know, lack of maintenance on that car. So if more car owners would take care of their car, especially if even if they're not going to keep it a long time, then we'll have a better used car market as well. You always hear stories about the used car market where you know, everyone got screwed, or as soon as they buy a car, there's problems like the next week. So as long as we follow the maintenance schedules and be on top of our maintenance intervals, even if we're not going to keep the car, then we're going to have a way better used car market. You know, but behavior of car owners will need to change for that. All right, that's going to be it for this short video. Hope you guys find it helpful. Hope you guys find it valuable. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.